Good morning, everybody. All one or two of you. All right, let me turn off this music. Whoa, I've never started off talking to zero people before, but for the people that that click on later, I'll just start. I was sitting here. Hi, Angelina. I was sitting here just thinking, right, about you know, well, I always sit and think about what I plan to talk about right before the show, and um, usually everything that I have thought of through the night that's like, oh yeah, that's a good thing, I should bring that up, or oh, that's a good thing, like these little tidbits, right? Then I'm like, oh, that's a good little thing to say right there. But oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Angelina. Thank you. Good morning, AJM. And so I think of these little things to say during the night. And then just before I go on, I close my eyes and lean back, hopefully not falling asleep, and I get like something on my heart, right? Something on my heart to say, and it's always something I gotta at least touch on, right? Sometimes I don't have to talk about whatever it is for a very long time. Sometimes I just need to mention it. Because really, sometimes being aware of something is all you need, right? Like let's say you listen to a whole hour of like somebody, and at the beginning they say something like, you know what, we really should read our Bibles more, and just that one that one statement at the beginning, right? Just simple, right? You could have turned it off right there. I'm like, oh man, I do need to get into the word. And so sometimes, like when we watch videos, right? I don't know if you guys are the same as me, right? But um, I know a lot of people that I've talked to that are truthers and Christians to this kind of level, where uh, when we're watching things, like it'll be like the way somebody says something, or like a new little fact will like set off a little alarm in the head, like beep, and then like if it's connected to something that we watched like 3 or 4 months ago, it'll connect those dots for us. Like, oh, like that thing that one, oh, that last video last year. Oh, it is true, and like these little, I don't know if like your brain connects dots like that. Like, just one little statement will like wake up like, 20 things that you've seen before. And then when you send the video to somebody, you hope that they hear that same line the same way you heard it, so that it sparks in their brain the same thing, right? But it's like everybody is, wired a little bit differently when it comes to that. But sometimes, I think most of the time when we're like relaxed or whatever, and just watching, you know, I don't like to watch things with a lot of spinning graphics or things that jump around a lot. I like watching like lectures, like straightforward. One camera angle. And if you're watching and you're relaxed, you pretty much could feel what if they're saying something that's not true, or if or if they're being real. You know, it's like there's a certain feeling that you're like, oh, okay, I know this guy's telling the truth, you know. And I don't know what that is. You know, I know that all good things come from God, right? And so you know, it's weird that that's in us, and I wonder if that's in us even stronger as children. You know, because I remember knowing instinctively if you know, there were people that you know, that, oh, don't go over there, you know, like, or this person's not, you know, don't go, you know, that kind of thing, right? And I think it's for protection. I don't know, more than anything. But I wonder if, like, all the stuff they dump on you, man, all this heavy metal is in the air, and these chemtrails and all this. How many people have never like seen anything about chemtrails before? Because like I know that there are people that are making it here that aren't even truthers, you know, like they're seeking truth, but like they're not, like, you know, flat earth truthers, right? Like um you know, all the way to all the triggering topics and getting through all of those, right? um so like if there's ever anybody that's just fresh, right, that hasn't really woken up completely, like it's always like, I don't know, I get excited when someone's like awake but they haven't heard anything yet, and I'm like, oh, I got a lot to tell you, you know. I got, here's the thing though, right? Like in 1999, right? um I remember looking up at the sky, right? I was in the army, and I was smoking a cigarette downstairs. I worked in a personnel services battalion, like admin type thing, and so I was out smoking a cigarette, and I looked at the sky, and it was like, I was like, man, why is that trail on that plane just staying there, right? I thought it was weird, right? I didn't think it was nefarious or anything like that. I thought it was, you know, something normal, right? But I was like, it's just, I've never seen it stay in the air like that. And that's the first time that I'd seen a chemtrail. And it wasn't until like, and now I was in the army during, you know, Blind 11, right? And I believed that the official story, like I 100% believed it when I was in the military. I didn't question. It's not like I was like die hard. I believed it. It was, I just never questioned it, you know? And so the very first thing that I learned about was like in 2000 and, I want to say 2007 or 2008, right? There was like some kind of video about, you know, all the people that benefited from Blind 11 happening, and you know, all the people that were like, okay, the security leader was, related to the president, and this guy got insurance for this and all that. Like they like really like put it out all the all the people that had something to gain, right? And I knew it, right? I knew it right as soon as I watched the video. I didn't even have to research any of that stuff. Like I knew that that was, it was nefarious. That I believed that video, like without even checking on it or anything. I don't know why, right? Because I'm not normally like that. Usually I'm like, oh, I don't know, what do these people have to gain, you know? But I believed it. way back then, I wish I would have just been a truther right then, right? Last two videos interested. Yeah. No. And this is the stuff, right? This is what opened it all up for me, right? Like, so this is what opened it all up for me about God, about Jesus, man. I was already a lover of Jesus, right? When I started, learning all this stuff. But so so that was way back then, right? And then in 2011 or so, I took a big break from truth, right? After learning that, right? I didn't like it. It didn't really pique my interest. I'm like, oh, that's true. That's weird to see the president, dancing around a burning owl and all this stuff at Bohemian Grove, right? I'm like, the pictures didn't look real, You're like, what? He's dressed like a wizard or something like that. Like, is this real? Like, that can't be right, And it baffled me, But I believed it. But I wasn't like, I didn't want to keep digging, right? I'm like, okay, that's true, whatever, right? There's all kinds of like corruption everywhere, And so it wasn't until like 2011 to 2012 I started looking at some other stuff, and FEMA sparked my interest a little bit because when I was in the military, you could get a lot of promotion points for taking these little FEMA courses, right? Like getting certified in all these FEMA, emergency relief type, classes. They're like courses. It's like little correspondence courses, right? And so I took them all. They were worth 10 points each or something like that. And there was a whole bunch of them. I just took all the tests, every single one. Some of them were only a couple questions, and then you were certified to do something, I can't even remember what they were all about. But I was interested in that because I did those classes, right? So I'm like, okay, so, well, what's this all about? And so, like, that's when, you see stuff like they have these death camps and coffins everywhere. You're like, this can't be real, man. Like, they have coffins for like everybody in the United States. Like, what? Like, why are, you start learning, like, because, there was like this big thing about, of course, fast forward after that, right? I kept taking these breaks from it, And so, at some point, I learned about, I don't know, North Korea and how, like, the president there, Kim Jong, whatever, tells his people that, he can walk on water and talk to dolphins, all kinds of weird stuff, right? And as an American, right? As an American, right? You're like, oh man, I can't believe that they do that to those poor people, And really, yeah, it's horse crap, it's not fair to those people, right? To be told all kinds of bull crap, right? But we don't include ourselves in that group, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, we know our government is straight with us, but their government is unfair somehow. And it clicked, it hit me. I'm like, oh man, it's we're the same as them. Like, our government tells us all kinds of crap, and we believe it, And when you think about what, like, science and evolution and all that, they're silly stories that should never be true, and we bought it, just because it's in every movie, commercial, uh, all that stuff, right? They convince us that Narnia is real, And so like around 2017, right? I I get this urge, right, to like, I need to, I need to see a conspiracy, or, figure out a conspiracy. And I was like, searching YouTube. I watched a couple of things with like, there was a, what's it, wrestler, Jesse the Body, Jesse the Body Ventura or whatever. And he was like, looking at harp and all the, so mainstream, right? And and then I start looking into the moon stuff, right? Like, yeah, man, there's no way we went to the moon, man. I'm like, we haven't been to the moon in a long time, like 50 years, right? Like, how, like, why aren't we going? Someone should own the moon by now, right? Like, if people own the whole world, right? Like, if you could get to the moon, someone would own it, like this part or that part or whatever, right? Like, something's up. And so, like, it was pretty quickly that after seeing all the moon stuff, right, you're like, I mean, if you can look at all that stuff now, and if you think the moon landing is real, then there's nothing I could do to help you. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at that whole scenario, everything is just ridiculous. They play golf up there. I mean, I know deep sea divers, right? That like if they get 20 feet below water, like 20 feet deep in water, they move in a way that is they have a fear and a reverence for the danger that they're really in, because like anything can happen to it. Implode, they can implode. It's very dangerous to dive, right? And I thought about that, right? Just how careful these divers are, and how scared and respectful they were of the danger. And you see these astronauts jumping around and sliding around and playing golf and driving a cart, like what if something happened to the car? Like, how are you getting back to, like what? Like like, I mean, you would assume, right, that they would just be very careful about moving around up there, because if that your suit goes, you're done. And so anyway, that's not any evidence that it's real or not, but I mean, it's just one of the things you think about. And another thing that like really like got me to think was I have like a mantle above my fireplace. It's about maybe an inch long, or like a half an inch. It's like not much of a mantle. It's just like a decorative piece, above above my fireplace. And I have these pictures, right, that are leaned up against against the wall. They're just sitting there. They're not like attached to anything or in frames, or a couple of them are in frames, but most of them are just like pictures leaned up against the wall, you know. And they've been there for like, you have to kind of balance them there, right, to get them to stay, because it's such a it's such a small space, right? But I started thinking like, wait a second, like those pictures never fell off the wall, or like for like 8 or 9 years, right? And I'm like, if we're flying around outer space, man, how are these pictures just staying there still, completely still? And I had this pendulum on my desk. I've never seen it swing back and forth. Like it just sits, it just sat there, you know, for, I mean, almost a decade, right? And I'm just like, wow, little things make you think. But it even got weirder, after that, right? I started looking into all these Hollywood channels, right? They were talking about how everyone in Hollywood was a transgender. And I'm like, no, that can't be true. That can't be true at all. Um, Bubba has a scripture here, Revelation chapter 6, verse 3 and 4. The second seal caused men to kill each other. It's a murderous spree that breaks out globally. People killing each other like a butcher or piercing skin. Ooh, ooh, that sounds horrific. Um, so I'm like, how can everybody in Hollywood be transgender? Like that would mean that, like, because I thought when to get famous, right, you know, like you're a regular person and you get really good at playing guitar, and then you know, you are, you know, you get good at it, and then you sign a contract, and then you get famous, you know. And I thought that's really how it worked. And so I'm like, how could they only have transgender people in Hollywood? That's crazy. And then all the actors had, like, you know, pictures when they were kids growing up, you know. But then you realize, right, that, like, at some point it's undeniable. Like, you're like, wow, well, this is true. They're, how are they doing it, right? Um, and then you start to realize that, wow, it's like they're part of the bloodline. They're part of the elite class. I'm sure one or two slides in and makes it or something like that to keep the story going. But they do these you know, these I call it gender inversion because it's unfair. It's done to a baby, you know. And you're like, you know, wow, that's unbelievable that, like, Satanists, you know, these Kabbalah occultists, they don't even hide what they are. They all have a red band around their arm, you know, and they all wear them. I mean, even, you know, you got Paris Hilton wearing a $2,000 dress with a piece of string tied around her wrist. You know, obviously that piece of string means something, right? And so then you're like, wow, man, like, how far does that go? Is that only celebrities? But it's not only celebrities. It's not. It's politicians. It's like any kind of, like, super famous people all over the world. It's not just America, it's everywhere. Yeah, definitely paying with your soul. I mean, hopefully some of them will make it, like, at the very end. But I mean, when you start learning just how nefarious these people are, you're like, these are some pretty. They do some pretty awful things to us. You know, they definitely consider us lower than them. You know. And oh yeah, I did. I listened to Thessalonians on a audio Bible. I'm gonna do what you said about, like, breaking it down and all that. I need to learn to do that in any way. But, like, I listened to it a few times, and yeah, and so we can. Dwight, did you want to have, like, a discussion about it tonight, or, like, I don't know? But yeah, like, so all this stuff in Hollywood, right? That's what, see, I was a kind of a believer in Trump at first, right? I'm like, okay, maybe Donald Trump will help us, you know? He's not because he's a great guy or anything, right? But it's like, well, he's not I'm like, he's not a politician, right? He's not one of them. So, like, maybe just him being an outsider will help us, you know? Someone that's not a professional politician from Washington. But then when you find out, like, there, you know, you're like, wow, like, everybody um everybody's a Satanist. It's like a that's famous or has a big platform or whatever. and you think, well, how could these people be nefarious and without those people knowing? And you think that all these departments are separate, right? But it's not. Like celebrities, politicians, big time scientists, anything that's top university professors, everybody at the top is all connected, everybody. And if they want to push some kind of like science idea, they just like, they make a big deal about it. They give a guy a trophy, you know what I mean? They give him the Nobel Prize and validate him, like, oh, everything this guy said has changed the world, and people buy it. They eat it up, man. But like, so did I. So did I believe all that. And not only did I believe it, but it sounded brilliant. And if you told me that it wasn't true, I would have thought you were just a fool, Like, no, man, get out of here. You just probably don't understand it or something, right? But then you understand, right? Like that when Jesus says the world is run by the devil, like it is. It is. Well, you know what? You know what? Pray about that, because like my youngest one never even liked to even really hear about God, and it would make him mad, and his mom's an atheist, and he's kind of raised in the same kind of household I was in, just not very no one's pushing him in a religious way, right? And so, but both of my kids, my oldest one, I told him God was real. He was just on board with it right away. Almost to a point where you're like, wait, don't you have any questions? Like ask me some stuff, But I mean, I can't say I'm sure about either one of them, right? But this is what they say, and and I always try to reaffirm it, like, hey guys, make sure you keep talking to God, make sure you. So the youngest one just recently said that he believes in God and that he talks to God, and I'm just so relieved because I always knew that I always knew that when I was praying about it, I got this kind of like feeling that it would be okay. I wouldn't like, not that it was okay, but that it would be okay. And I still get that same kind of feeling. Like, I don't know what it is right now, but I know that whoever is going to make a breakthrough with them is going to be someone else. It's not going to be me. So, sometimes it needs to be someone else, or someone they respect or their girlfriend or whatever, right? And hey, Tiffany, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. Oh, it's a good day. And Michael's here. Luke snuck in here. How you doing, Luke? And so like all this stuff, like you realize, wow, man, like this world is run by the devil and people are all nefarious. Cause like things like the bug that's out now that's infecting everybody, right? And they want you to take a toxination for. Everyone was on board with it. Like when it happened, you're like, wow, there's no dissenting opinion anywhere. Like no celebrities are like in a group saying, oh, this is horse crap, or there's like everyone's in agreement telling you to be safe. Every country is falling in line with the same like regulations. You're like, what? They're falling in line. No one is saying, hey, our country will handle it our way. We'll just handle it, And but they all like you can't even get 2 units, right? When I was in the army, I couldn't get 2 units to agree on everything for a barbecue. Always something would go wrong, or someone wouldn't get the napkins, or things aren't smooth, man, is what my point is. And we're talking over like almost 200 countries, like they all agree that this thing is like real and exists. And it's crazy, like you would just think that, good or bad, right? You would think that there'd be different opinions about it and some discussion about it too. Because it's not like they're shutting down all the, global warming, the CO2 is going to be bad in 5 years, shut down all the cars, there's no action like it's like moves that fast, like these things take legislation and all that. You think a business is going to close its doors, right? Like organically without you having some kind of paperwork, man? Like you got to show me something that's telling me why I got to lose millions of dollars, man. You know what I mean? Like casinos, man, like shut down in Vegas. There's no way, man. There is no way, man. I can't think of anything that would organically happen that way. But it is what it is, right? Bubba says, my dream has always been an overnight Sunday to Monday scenario. Me too, man. Me too. Yeah, like after the weekend or something like that. But see, Bubba, sometimes I'll dream about like that there's like war in America from both sides. So I wonder about that and what America has to do with anything, because really it's all about Israel right now. Yeah, what happened to Canada? So the internet shut down in Canada? Oh wait, it was I'm sorry, Tiffany, you asked about the Georgia Guidestones. I think someone blew them up or something like that. And I think that, in my opinion, it's like a diversion, It's like, I think it's a diversion for, to get us to think about something big. Because, every week it seems like there's something new. Yeah, that's what they say, right? A lightning hit it or something like that, or, but then they were saying they saw some car driving away. There's all these stories, right? And I think it's all a diversion. Ranks are robots with an echo of the soul. Wait a second. Wait, most Jehovah's at the higher ranks are robots with an echo of the soul on the hard drive. What is that? I don't understand that. Capsules. Oh, okay, where am I at? A surreal reality. Tell me more about that. I want to know more about that. Greetings. Let's see here. I skipped a couple people. Elites blew them up, yeah, as a signal, right? The elites blew them up as a signal. Yeah, I've heard a couple stories. One is lightning hit it. One is some people hit it and then drove off. And then, I don't know, man. They're gonna blame it on the right. If it was a lightning bolt from God, I wonder why there's any of it still standing. You would think that God would just like crumble it to where no one could read any of that stuff. I don't know. In my little understanding, right? But that doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Been sharing this for the past 2 days. No, but Oh, you mean about the capsule content? Well, I don't watch the news. I don't watch any of the news. Tell me about this stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. If you believe otherwise, then rather inside job. Yeah, of course it was. I mean, that's obvious, right? You really think that like some hillbillies or whatever, like drove up and blew up the things, or that not if it's on the news, right? It's probably not the way they're saying it is, and yeah, I mean, it's an obvious diversion to get. It's like they had the Roe v. Wade decision. They had this. There was a couple other things that happened. They're obviously giving us something to talk about over the weekend of every weekend. Um, Something big is coming, and they're trying to split our focus from it. And so I like whatever the big news is, I try to like not even talk about it. Like when the Roe v. Wade decision came out, I didn't really focus on that at all. When the this Georgia Guidestones thing, that is not really worth me talking about, because I know it's like it's you know the reason for it is because they did it. Because if it really was regular people doing it to bring attention to it, it wouldn't make the air. Like then all the news stations they're owned all by the same companies. It's obviously, if it's on the news, they did it. And I doubt that. I mean, now I'm starting to think like with the stuff they were showing about the war and all that, I'm like, oh man, like this can't be real. Like what is going on here? And you're like, wow, man, like I believe that something, maybe people are being um, killed over there during this event that is going on in Ukraine, but what they're showing me is not real. Like, and so I just try not to watch any of the main stuff, right? Because I mean that's the stuff that's obviously fake, right? And they want us to focus on these things, like to be scared of something that's invisible, or like having like the war on drugs or the war on terror, or things like this, that like you don't know when the enemy is done, right? You don't like when is that war over? The war on terror. They could keep it going, and keep that money flowing. Yeah, the devil ain't scared. That's right. It knows it's close. It knows he is close to success. The wrath will be coming out for real soon. Yes, yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I feel really bad for people that aren't real Christians, man, because it's gonna be bad. And with what Jesus did for us, there's no hope. There's no way. And no, you wrote success up there. You wrote success up there, and so I read it like that. Oh, why? Oh, yeah, yeah. It's close to success right here. See how you said that? Yeah, I didn't understand that either. Why you put that in there? If you don't see, read it right up there. It says it knows it's close, that if you do not take the mark, we will die. if you're not one of the 144,000. But Paula can keep it up with her teachings. I know the full truth now. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. The devil isn't close to success. No. No way. He's a defeated foe. Like easily defeated foe. No, but like you wrote it on there. Maybe it was an accident or something like that. You put it on there like a typo. And so I read it. I just read it off. I probably should have corrected myself. Sorry about that. To die is not the worst thing. No, shoot, they'd be doing me a favor if they came here and killed me. I'm like Paul. I'm like Paul in the Bible, right? To die is gain for me. It's the end of this nightmare, absolute nightmare. And I don't care if people want to troll me over that or talk crap. Like I can't wait to get out of this fallen world, man. You know, God told us right away that this place fell and sin entered in here, and this place is sick. And I'm just grateful that God even tolerated me, but He loves us, right? And I just accepting that was the hardest thing, right, for me, right? It's accepting that God loves me. He did all that for me, for you, and whatever the reason is, He loves us. And it's just amazing because this place would be a nightmare without God, an absolute nightmare. Surreal, I'm confused. You say the devil is success. Now you're saying he will be set free. Well, the devil will be set free after 1,000 years. So, okay, so I get what he's saying. He's just saying a lot of things all at once, right? So during the millennial reign of Christ, Satan is bound for 1,000 years. And then after that 1,000 years, he's released for a little season to deceive the nations. This is after the millennial reign of Christ on earth. But if you're an amillennial person, right, then you believe that that's the millennial reign is happening now, and that the little season is next, that Satan gets released. And so I don't know. It's a lot to reconcile. I would say Revelation chapter 20 would be like probably the best place to learn about that. I would probably start at 17, the Mystery Babylon, all the way to 20. 20 is the Revelation 20 is the big chapter, I think. Yeah, I know. I was confused. I was confused about some of it too. It's backwards. Yeah, he's just saying a lot of stuff all in one chunk. A lot of information in a couple sentences. Can you imagine if the person you are witnessing to and got saved in front of you was the very last soul to be saved, and then boom? Yes, that's what, Bubba. That's my hope. My absolute fantasy would be to be holding that last shaking sheep. Like the last person to barely make it. That would be a dream of mine. But just any sheep that got saved during, that had anything to do with the show here, and then they got saved, like, oh, that's such a blessing to me. It gives me so much energy inside. I wish it was more often, really. In his time, the devil will be in power for this. No. What are we talking about? We will return, not in power. No, I Maybe you're trying to say something in English that is different in your language. Do you speak Dutch? Is it that you speak Dutch? Maybe it's not um maybe it's not translating well. Turn after Jesus has done the work for the kingdom of heaven on earth. Yeah, but it'll be afterwards, but he won't be in any power. He'll have like freedom to deceive the nations, and then he gets defeated very easily in that chapter. Like like Jesus defeats him in like, in an instant. I know you're trying I know you're trying to I know what you're trying to say, but you're talking about a lot of things, right? A big space of time, and you're jumping around from before the millennial reign, after the millennial reign. So right now we're waiting on the man of sin and the mark of the beast, right? And then there's the whole millennial reign of Christ, right? When we get raptured out, and then all that's over, and then the 1,000-year reign on earth after we're glorified. Then after that 1,000 years, right? Then Satan is let loose for just a small amount of time, right? Am I missing something? Oh yeah, many will fall for this. Yes, absolutely, because of syncretism, right? Like the religions that split up from the Tower of Babel, right? They're all waiting on their Messiah, right? It's the same religion in all these different languages, and so it will appear like everyone is waiting on their Messiah to come, and this Antichrist figure, everyone will think this is the guy. All the roads lead to this guy, except for us. We'll be the only ones knowing that like this is not real. We're waiting on Jesus to come back, and we're going to be persecuted hard if we're here. I think we're out of here. But like, let's say you convert right after the rapture. Um, like Christians will be killed. Probably. The Antichrist, Satan are going to become one. Now, maybe. You're speculating a little because I don't know. I don't know about that. But yeah, possibly, right? Possibly what you're, because I know someone else that thinks that AI has got a lot to do with it too, and it certainly wouldn't line up. Now I can't tell you either way. I know that it will be a man, right? Because it says it. It will be a man, but doesn't mean he's not going to be connected to some AI, right? So who's going to pull the plug? But the Father said, I'm going to Mount Zion and going to look for the 144,000. Well, yeah, like the 144,000. Yeah. So they're going to still be here. Well, the 144,000 Jews get sealed from the 12 tribes. And then, so it's 12,000 from each tribe. They get sealed, right before we get raptured, or right after. It's real close together. And they will be here to witness to the Jews, and the blinder will be lifted, for them. And so there's going to be a remnant of Jews that run to the wilderness and get saved. It's going to be amazing. It's a large number of people. And so we'll already be gone by then. They have a pretty important job to do. And hey, how are you doing? How you doing, Charity? Yeah. No, it's still live right now. You missed the live yesterday, you mean? Oh yeah, it's at the end now. Yeah, but it's Saturday, so going a few minutes long. I mean, well, yeah, 140 Jews are humans. You're not making sense. 144,000, right? From the 12 tribes, they're Jews and humans. They're both things. I don't know, unless you're saying people are robots or something like that. But the church saints get raptured out of here. The believers in Jesus, right, for their salvation, are leaving. We're out of here. Okay, both. Like, what do you mean, Bubba, on the both thing? Maybe here, I'm gonna drop a link, Bubba. Do you want to come up, Bubba, for a second and explain? Because maybe I'm just confused about something. Maybe I'm confused about that. It's up to you. Would you want to come up and clear it up or something? A human is a what? Oh, no. Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, so you're saying that the juice is going to turn people into robots? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. You might be speculating on things that are like, I mean, if some of that is true, it's things that I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to prove any of that. That I don't make claims like that. Well, if you know, then I mean, that's cool, right? But I don't know. Like, I can't prove that to people, right? They make people into robots and give them a echo soul. I don't know. That sounds like a lot of. I mean, you could be right. I'm just saying that, like, I don't make claims unless I can prove that to people. So I'm not, I'd have to think about all that. You're making big claims. That's all I'm saying. Hello, Bubba. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you guys?
You get what I'm saying, right? Those are big claims. Like, I can't just say stuff that I can't prove to be true, and those things are wild, man.
Oh, right. No, there was so many coming. I was like, wait, no, that one. No, let's address that one. No, let's address that one. No, wait, let's address this one. No.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He says we're making him
Yeah, I
cry.
used to watch Tamara Magdalene, the Lioness of Yeshua. I used to watch it. She has gotten way deep and she's gotten way dark, and she comes with a claim of Christianity, showing all these things, and it's a false doctrine. A lot of it, even this 144,000. I'm like, what? What? It's so confusing, but that's a problem. Is everyone tries to figure out the Book of Revelation and the end time prophecies by only starting in the Book of Revelation. They never start in the Old Testament when it begins.
Right, because you got to let the Bible.
We got to see who's the tribulation for first and foremost.
The Jews.
Well, let's find out. What is it? Is it a 2-year contract? Is it a 3.5? Is it 7 years? Is it 150? How long is it, first of all, and who's it for? Who's the people it's for? Who's the audience being read to 570 years before the church was even founded in Jesus Christ? Daniel. It was written to a Jewish nation, to a Jewish people, a Jewish time, a Jewish everything. It's the last final week of God's 70th week prophecy to Daniel, and we've completed 69 years to the date that Jesus rode into Jerusalem. And there's a comma, and we're now in that comma, waiting for that next 7-year cycle or 7-year Shemitah cycle to be finished, and that's it. All the focus goes off of America and Canada and the UK and any other Christian on the planet during the 7 years, and all eyes go back to Israel. There's no looking at anybody in for the church in the 7 years because it's not mentioned anywhere in the judgments.
Well, it's very difficult to reconcile because I mean, if it's 144,000 people being sealed, right? Of course, it's people, right? But Jews are people, right? Like,
I get that.
Like
that's the thing.
Saying,
I mean, that's basically going to be.
It's
going to be. We're going to have the two witnesses going 24/7. We're going to have 144,000 Jews going 24/7. Basically, apostles of Jesus Christ, basically spreading the eternal gospel, not the Jewish Noahide laws. They're spreading the good news 24/7. They're basically Paul the Apostle with the internet 24/7. Think about that. 144,000 Apostle Pauls. With the internet, with social media.
It's going to be amazing. and it's a huge amount of people get saved. Like, it's 1/3, right?
And Surreal Reality says, what planet, Bubba? What are you talking about?
I know. I clicked on
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Understand.
Okay, English is his second or third language, so like
I understand. I just don't understand.
Me neither, Bubba.
No. I want to understand. That's the thing. I'm trying to understand where his mind is, and I'm like, what? I don't know. No, I want to help. I just don't understand.
Dutch Sailor, click the link. Click the link. Your English is better when you're talking. It is. Click the link. Tiffany.
I used to watch the Tamara, whatever stuff. She's got some really wild stuff about breaking into like the unknown. And
Tiffany, I'll add you tomorrow tonight to the show if you want. But right now, I'm gonna round out after we get through all this. But I am so grateful for you. And thank you for just hanging out with us.
Everyone in here, including Surreal Reality, is great. I mean, you got Luke Donnelly, Michael, you got AJM, you got Slow Driver. I mean, Tiffany Adventures, everybody in here. I mean, we're all here because we're trying to learn and understand, yeah.
All right, let me add him right now. Hold on a second. Hello, Dutch Boy. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today? What's up, my brother? What are you trying to say, man? Maybe you explain it better.
He's got good English. I'm impressed. He looks good. Look at that beard, dude. Right on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Looking sharp, man. Looking sharp.
I couldn't do that, man. I get too itchy.
I'm single, bro. Go down there.
But that's really cool.
What I wanted to share, the thing is, I really found out with evidence from that channel, so much video materials, also with audio, of course, that provide evidence that we are being run by clones and robots and fusion of them. But there is one big issue. The clones and the AI, the robots, are programmed to believe they are real, and also they have managed thousands of years ago to copy our consciousness, our memories, so our brain, our body, with cloning. The thing is, when a clone is active, there is no soul present. The original one is the soul carrier.
With the soul transfer coming, yeah.
Yeah, and
so what's the claim? So what's the claim exactly? That
the claim is Satan is without a body at this moment, and they are close to succeeding that he has a body. Then they put up a show for the first Antichrist, and then a second body of Antichrist comes, and he will bring forth a kingdom. So are you with me or not? I'm right here, right now.
Well, I don't know. Look, it's a big, it's a lot. No, I'm not against you. This is what I'll say to you, right? That's a lot to reconcile and requires a lot of proof.
No, if you understand how serious I am about the truth and the absolute truth, because I've got it, I got it from Revelations. That uploader, Tamara, for now, I don't know if it's the real name of the uploader. It could be a guy or a robot or whatever. Yeah, but it could be Jesus himself. You know.
Oh.
I'm not Jesus. I have a name. I have a passport that says Carnivalis. Yeah, in Dutch that says plus, minus, yin, yang, alpha, omega, whatever. That's Dutch. Yeah. Just a small clue. Just a small clue. But I promise you, I am not him. I'm doing work for him, and I speak with his words.
I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot to reconcile, man.
I'm shaking right now, brother. I'm shaking right now because I don't actually perfectly know the right words to use in English because I'm Dutch. Yeah, it's all the time.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Email me this stuff that you're talking about. I'll look at it.
I already did. I shared you the channel. It's homework. It's about 600 videos. 2 channels.
The whole thing? That's a lot of material.
Yeah. Oh my! I know. I've been busy for days. I've also have other tasks to do. And I had to
okay.
a kid this morning for a friend of mine. He's a parent, and I have to collect scrap metal in the meanwhile, so I can give myself some food and water. You know. But I also used all of my free time and energy just to inform myself. I don't care what the background story is of the uploader. I'm just
but this is a lot of stuff, and you got to understand. It sounds a little crazy, right? And so like it's a big claims, right? I'll take a look at some of the stuff, but we got to round out pretty soon. And
it's right in your face.
I know. I will look at it. I will definitely take a look at it. But we got to round out pretty soon.
It's been written.
Do you have anything to say to him, Bubba? Or
so you're plugging yourself into 600 videos and studying?
Yeah, maybe over 600. I don't know how many, but it's 2 channels.
On what? On
Tamara.
About clones and the Bible and Revelations and everything is being explained in those videos. If you start at the first video, you scroll down to the first upload video. You start there.
You watched her whole channel and the couple. Maybe you just need some rest, and we'll talk about it.
You have to remind that those videos are hours. Those are a few minutes. Yeah,
I get it.
And if you get bored in those first 3 seconds, then you're gonna miss everything.
Okay.
If you get bored, then you don't want to know. Yeah. Then you don't.
I get it.
Then you don't have the.
Dutch Sailor, I gotta let you go because I gotta finish off with Bubba and we gotta finish off our thing here. But thank you so much for joining, man. I love you, brother. Okay. All righty. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'll say to everybody as a whole, right? If you come on here with some big claims, right, I'll look at it, right? Because I've been wrong about big things before, but yeah, that's a lot to reconcile, man. And so let's try to keep it in between the lines that we know. Let's try to get, but hey, I appreciate anybody sharing anything, but
I really appreciate his excitement. I really appreciate that passion. It's like he has a passion for figuring out the rabbit trails of the world and the time that we're going to be in and the 7 years and this, that, the other. Okay. I get that. I that's not for me. I've just, shoot, man, since last year when I was in intensive care and was almost dying, and this past year in a few months, I've been taking those times that I would be watching 600 videos to try to figure out a rabbit hole, and I'm watching 600 videos on the soon coming of the Lord Jesus Christ and the Word of God, and trying to know how I can be a better witness for the kingdom, because I'm learning everything I need to know of what's coming in the Bible. I don't need anything else. I don't need any other scripture. I don't need anything else. It's all found there.
Yes.
But I get it. I totally get it. But and another thing I've noticed too is like, and nothing against you, man, Stephen, but other people, when they go with this flat earth thing, this becomes like their new gospel. That is all they want to preach. They don't want to even talk about the soon return of Jesus. It becomes their new gospel. And I'm seeing these different, everyone is picking up different segues and different rabbit holes and different things that they're clinging on for their new gospel that they're going to share to the world instead of the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's what I find is just not you, man. I'm just saying any of us. You know what I mean? All of us. We're
so
also focused on this and that celebrity, this and that Georgia Guidestone. You know, I get it. I get it. We're in the world. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. I think that when like we start getting into like clones and robots and all this stuff, right? It's like, oh man, that's like, because here's the thing, right? You start finding out that, you know, a lot of things you learn in life are not true. And you get unstable with like, you know, core reality, you know, since you were young. And then to invite just any old conspiracy in is it's excessive. And
well, and I just want to throw this in there real quick because I get it, because then it becomes a fleshly thing to keep going down the rabbit trail. And I'll catch myself doing that the other night when I was watching that Abe Shinzu or whatever being shot and he was killed. And, you know, I was putting stuff up on Community Tab page and I was starting to go down this rabbit hole and I'm like, wait a minute, I need to go to bed. Why am I focused on something that I can't control? You know what I mean? Right.
Well, see, at some point, right? But like for me, right? Like if I didn't have the channel or whatever, and I was just on my own, right? I'm like, I already know that the world is bogus, man. Like I would just be full of peace and joy, and like I just won the lottery, waiting on God to come get me. You know,
and I think that's how I've been able to sleep better, is because I'm not filled with my mind, and when I lay down, my mind doesn't go 24/7 of, you know. And I think remember the old Sunday school song, and I think it's so important we need to sing it again today. Be careful, little ears, what you hear. Be careful, little eyes, what you see. I mean, be careful of what we're putting into our minds in these final days, because
that's right.
Jesus is going to catch us all doing something. What is it we're going to be doing? You know.
Well, I give the example of this, right? Like, you know, when I was starting to learn about like the news events being fake, right? And, you know, looking at every detail of these news stories, like how, like, you know, how they are fake and all that, right? After a certain amount of them, right? It's like when they come out,
you see the pattern after a while. Your eyes, your discernment. I don't have to research the this, that, the other into the further depths, because it's pattern.
Crazy. Yeah,
it's a pattern.
Crazy. I don't need to sit here and prove every little thing. Oh, the doctor's last name was, you know, forget all that, man. Or, you know, the dad was smiling, you know. Crazy, right? You're like, come on, man. Like, can we just focus on God? Look, God is real. That's what I get out of the fact that the world is run by evil. And I'm reading the Bible because everything seems to be lined up against Jesus, right? And everything in the Bible that I've tested, right, has come true, right? So, you know, I just want to focus on that and get out of here. Now, the sad part is, right, that so a lot of this truth stuff, right, it brings people in, you know, people that normally wouldn't be like I've seen people that were not they were like atheists before they found out a lot of the truth movement, and then it was like, oh, it's time to crack a Bible open, you know. And so some of that brings people in, right? And it's part of it, but like the focus is on Jesus. Like that's why I like when Stephanie comes on and she's like, Jesus is the answer to everything. You know, I mean, it makes for a short show, right? I'm like 5 minutes in and 40 minutes of show left. Jesus is the answer to everything. You know. And so,
Yeah.
but you gotta feel the time, right? Like you gotta be like, okay, well, this and this and this in the world or whatever. But to be like hyper focused on all that stuff can make you crazy, man.
Well, and I'm curious to ask the real reality. If he said he was the thief on the cross next to Jesus, has he come back?
Oh no, what is he saying?
No, he said he was the thief on the cross next to Jesus. He knows who he is. So I'm like, wait a minute. The Bible says it is appointed unto man once to die, and after that, the judgment.
Yeah,
And to be
that's not
absent from the
true.
body is to be present with the Lord. So is he believing like he's come back to life in a new body as a clone? Is that what he's saying? I'm confused, even more so now.
Well, if he's saying
My,
that,
oh
that it's
my.
not true, that you're not the thief on the cross, that I'm pretty sure of.
Wow.
I'm almost
See,
for sure.
And that's such a big lie that's going forward, is that we're trying to get the downloads from the enlightenment of the new awakening, so that we can see through the past to see who we were in the past, because the present is the current, the past is the current is the past. I mean, that's their belief, and it's to attain yourself to small God level. That's the whole thing with Satan. I'm going to attempt to become God. I'm going to take over him. Me. I'm going to pride. I am a small God. No, we're not. We were created. We're created in God's image, but we're not a small God. We're a sinful, fallen creature. God wanted to destroy us in Genesis 6, us and the animals. He was sad he even made us. All the corruption going on.
No, there's
only
no
by the grace of God.
Said,
here we are.
Hold on. Who said there's a clone Jesus? Where is
what?
that?
Oh my.
No. You gotta go, man. You gotta go. I'll unban you. I'll unban you after.
That's an antichrist full and foremost. Any clone Jesus I find.
Yeah, it's blasphemous.
Oh my gosh. This is what I'm talking about. You guys have to be so careful in these very final days. People are falling away by the day, following this false teaching, these false new doctrines. Oh my gosh, this is pulling us away from the Lord Jesus Christ and his imminent return.
Yeah, I'm not going to have that here.
Oh my.
I hope you understand why I did that, man. That's crazy, man. You can't come here and
I
say
break
they
for the
clone
souls
Jesus.
of these people, because literally they're following this doctrine of demon, anything that is not taught. Even the Apostle Paul, if any new gospel, any new brightness, any new enlightenment comes to you guys, any new hidden knowledge that's been hidden, whether it be from me or the Lord, it's not from us.
It's insanity.
It's not from us. Satan himself is an angel of light. He comes as an angel of light. If Satan showed up right here next to us, he'd be the best looking person on the planet.
Luke, that was me that I blocked him. That was me that deleted all of his comments.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I just letting him know, because he said he deleted everything.
Oh.
He actually said he was a clone. Yeah, I had to ban him, and you can't be blasphemous in here. I mean, that's insanity.
And this was the warning I was just trying to give. You got to watch out for the Tamara just because of this. Yeah. Just be careful.
He's welcome back here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just be careful.
He's got to email me and send me his link, and we got to talk about it. That's all. I can't have that in here. That's insanity. Uh-oh, I can't hear Bubba.
No, sorry. What?
I said, no, that's just insanity.
I know. Oh, no, it's all good. Yeah. I'll join tonight or whatever you want. Yeah, that 2 Thessalonians 2.
Well, I didn't
12, dude, is so important. Oh my gosh,
Luke, I didn't delete all of his stuff. I banned him, and then just by default, it does that. I didn't delete his stuff on purpose. It was just I can't have him in here being blasphemous. And so it just automatically deleted it.
Hey, and Piers and Howdy. That's right. Faith, Hope, and Charity. I was like, oh man, I know.
Yeah, it just automatically happens, unfortunately. But I've known him for a little while. I mean,
he's got a lot of good info. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's going through some stuff, obviously. Going through some stuff, man. That's something, man. Man, we are in the last days, man. If that doesn't tell you that we're in the last days, man,
Yeah.
that people are being affected in weird ways, man. Weird ways.
I know,
But
man.
anyway.
No, thanks for
It's
having me,
not,
man. Yeah, boogie on. Yeah, let's do it tonight if you want.
you could come on tonight if you want. It's
Yeah,
up
that'd
to
be great.
you. Yeah, I think that'd be good, man.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I love you, Bubba, man. Thank
Love
you
you
for
too, man.
coming
Thank
on,
you.
man. Yes, God bless you. It's always a pleasure to have Bubba on. Just to explain what happened, guys, just so if anybody's lost or whatever. I've known him for a while. He's not a bad dude, but like it was a pretty insane stuff. And so the only reason I blocked him is because of even though it was distracting, I can handle that a little bit, but the blasphemy is not good. And so I blocked him just for now, and he can come back. He can just email me, and then I'll unblock him. It's good to just show people love people through that, and so I'll contact him right after this. So just so you know, there's some closure there for you guys that there's no loose ends there. I will follow up with that. Well, he said Jesus was a clone, and so you tell me, Michael. But I'm gonna contact him now and see what's going on with him. But if you see him around, show him some love, He said there are clones of Jesus. Okay, I'll talk to him. Yeah. No big deal. Just unblock him. That's all it is. But we were about to round out anyway. So is everybody okay? Everybody is good right now? I can round out. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. All glory to God because he deserves it. Please pray for the children. Please pray for anyone being victimized. Pray for Dutch Sailor there, Surreal Reality. I will see you guys, Lord willing, at 5 o'clock. Call me Michael if you want to talk.